Hey, ¿qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Luis Lopez, and today I'm going to walk you through the two-game slate that we have for for tomorrow. Actually, I'm recording this video on the night before. But before I give you my thoughts on those two games, let me walk you through some of the picks that I gave you, either on the video or on the pinned comment. I gave you Dominic Malonga on the video over her PR or fantasy. She crushed both. Simple. Fantastic matchup. Like I said before, she crushed both. And as someone that we should keep, should always be on your radar when you're doing your research. Veronica Burton. Talked to you about Tiffany Hayes not being there and the effect that it has on Veronica Burton. She crushed everything. Her PR8 and her PA, which is the two that I suggested. Now, regarding Leah Boston and Natasha Howard, I talked about unders on both of these players, and I talked about Mitchell unders, and I talked about possibly staying away from Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall stayed under. Leah Boston stayed under her fantasy. Natasha Howard stayed under her fantasy. And then Mitchell went over her 28.5 PRA. She landed at 29 because she took one technical free throw when the game was completely out of hand already around the 3-minute mark of the game. Bizarre, but it put her over 28.5 PRA, which is what I had suggested. Now, regarding her, when I got to put my slips and the line was already bumped down from 29.5 PRA to 27 PRA. I never take 1 point bump downwards or upwards, and I definitely don't take 2 points bump downwards or upwards. So I completely faded her. And then when I dip dive into Leah Boston and Natasha Howard, what I realized is against the Lynx, neither one of them blocks or steals at all. So I was like, look, they can get over their PRA or get close to their PRA, but the fantasy, taking their fantasy on the under is going to give me an edge because they're not going to get those fantasy points that usually are added on to the PRA to get to the fantasy score. It's usually anywhere between 3 and 6 points that are added to the fantasy if they expect those players to do some blocks or steals. So I look for advantages in those areas. If I'm looking for an under and I see a player that has a 29, for the sake of conversation, 29 PRA, but in their fantasy, let's say, add another 3 points to that, 32 fantasy points. If they don't block or steals, I'll take the fantasy. Because that to me is an extra gifted 3 points that they give you. And if any chance they have a miracle block or steals, that's still only 3 points. So you're still technically taking their PRA on the under. But if they don't have it, they're giving you 3 points. And I wanted to show you this. For those that play streaks, I haven't played these in quite a while. Decided to jump on one today. I felt really confident about the slate. And I ended up with these players. This is for the early game. And this is for the last game. I was trying to share this. I didn't get a shot at doing it, but I was hoping that those that were interested could have used the picks from the videos or the picks from the pinned comment that all combined did quite well. I did it, and tomorrow I'll be picking my fourth pick. I wait towards the end for the news to settle down and for me to do some additional research to settle on that one pick, because it is just one pick. In streaks, I've gone all the way here. Second to last or here. These two I've gone pretty far. I've never gone here because I always cash out. Because I'm putting $10. And if I'm already looking at $2,000, $3,000 to cash out of $4,000, I was like, I'm okay. I don't need to get to $9,000 or $8,000. I'm okay converting $10 into $4,000. So that's what I've done a few times. So I'm back at it again. Tomorrow will be my fourth pick, and I'll announce that in the pinned comment. This is one of my other slips. Second half. Oh, this one. I wanted to share. This one, I already talked about these. Kiki, I already gave you that. Leah Boston, Veronica, I talked to her. Janelle Saloom. She should have easily gone over this line of 9.5. I thought it was a joke. I was like, let me just take her just to complete my six leg. And then she ends up staying under with 9. What can you do? Still a positive day. Luckily, 2 profitable days for me. I hope they were for you as well. All right, let's go into the games. Liberty's taking on the Sun. This game has 12-point spread. I don't know why. 163.5 game total. I don't know why the Liberty are favored by 12 points versus the Sun, when the Sun have been the hotter team of the two. Maybe it's because Breanna Stewart may play. Maybe because Sabrina Ionescu may play. She's questionable. Now Natasha Cloud is questionable. We don't know if Stewart is going to be playing. But if those 3 players don't play, I don't know how the Liberty can cover 12 points against the red-hot Sun. In the Connecticut Sun side, I am looking to my nemesis again, Tina Charles. But I am actually taking the over on her. I know, don't laugh at me, but I am taking the over on her. Why? She's been kicking butt when it comes down to rebounds, and now she gets the easiest matchup in the world against rebounds. The Liberty ranked dead last against her position. They allow the most offensive rebounds, which Tina Charles likes to get a lot of, and they allow the 10th most rebounds. Just a fantastic rebound matchup for Tina Charles. If the line is 5.5, I'll just go ahead and take that. I like her points line as well at 13.5, or you could just combine her points plus rebounds on the over at 19.5. I already told you about the rebounds. Points. She scores right here a lot of her points in this area. 7th and 9th. This is about, 64% of her shots. They're pretty weak where she scores 60% of her shot. She will most likely be guarded here by Miesemann. It's what I expect. But it all depends if Stewart's playing. That means Stewart might be guarding her. But Stewart most likely will be limited anyway. So that means she'll get a lot more Miesemann. And I think Tina Charles can work Miesemann to score comfortably here underneath the basket. But if your rebounds in line is at 5.5, I'm going to rock that. Definitely love that line at 5.5 for Tina Charles. Another play that got a lot of run is Bria Hartley because Layla Lacan is officially rolled out for the next game, and she got pulled from the last game from an injury. So disheartening. Bria Hartley ended up getting 32 minutes of play. She scored 23 points versus the Sky. In this matchup, 57% of her shots are above the break, where they rank 10. So she has a fantastic matchup for scoring. I just don't trust her. If she's part of the starting lineup and her line is a 9.5, with such an incredible matchup, this line will be too low for her. But again, she's pretty inconsistent. Although she hasn't been playing this kind of minutes, which is 32 minutes. The player that most likely will come and replace Layla in the starting lineup is Sanaya Rivers. I'm looking for a line at 8.5 and 9.5 to take the over. Now, if Sabrina Ionescu is playing, Sanaya Rivers will be most likely guarding her. Sabrina Ionescu turns the ball over a ton. Okay? So if Sanaya Rivers is guarding Sabrina Ionescu, if she plays, and her line, Sabrina Ionescu line, is at a 1.5 turnover, I would take the over 1.5 turnover on Sabrina Ionescu. And then I will flip it. And let's say Sanaya Rivers' PRA is at 15 and her fantasy is at 18. I will take Sanaya Rivers' fantasy. Why? Because if she's guarding Sabrina Ionescu, she's going to get a few steals from her. And every steal on Prize Picks, I believe, is 3 points. So if her PRA is at 15 and her fantasy is at 14, and if she gets us 2 steals, that means that we're getting 3 points gifted to us, especially being matched up with this young lady who turns the ball over a ton. So I'm interested in Tina Charles. I'll wait for the line to drop. And I'm interested in Sanaya Rivers and her fantasy or points. And I'm interested in Sabrina Ionescu if she plays over her turnover. If and when the line is at 1.5. Okay. Next game. It's the Aces versus the Sky. This game has an 11-point spread, I believe that. 165.5 game total. The Red Hot Aces are traveling over to Chicago to take on the crumbling, out of the playoff, nothing to play for Chicago Sky, although they have been playing their hearts out. And in this game, I'm going over to Angel Reese, and I'm hoping her line gets bumped to 14 or 14.5. I am taking her under 13.5 points. Yes. Underneath the basket, she shoots 74% of her shots. They're ranked number 2, but she most likely will be matched up with Nalisa Smith, who's not a good defender. But I think by having AJ Wilson there, AJ Wilson can come and help Nalisa Smith and stop Angel Reese from scoring. She had a much softer matchup against the Connecticut Suns, and she stayed under her points line, which was at 13.5 points. But that was without scoring anything in the fourth quarter. And the books right now have her favorite to go on the under at minus 120. So the books are also lean on the under. So I'm leaning on the under on Angel Reese. I mean, leaning on the under on Ariel Atkins as well. See the chart here, 30% of his shots, middle of the road, post, 28%, middle of the road, non-restricted, that last. 12% here, they rank second. What I'm counting on is that this game just gets out of hand really fast. And these ladies are not going to have the minutes. The matchups they have are not horrible. For Ariel Atkins, for Camila Cardoso, they're not horrible. But it's just, I don't know how they can keep it close, versus the Aces. I don't know how that's possible. So, I will most likely look deeper into these props, and I'll make up my mind whether I expect a blowout. And if I do decide this would definitely be a blowout, then I'll be targeting unders on Ariel Atkins, Camila Cardoso, and Angel Reese. These will be my 3 main players because they're the ones that get pulled off the court first over everyone else. Another player that I was looking at is Jewel Lloyd. You can look at Jewel Lloyd over 1.5 threes. I think she can get this done. Why? Because of this. 10 out of 15 players have easily gone on the over. So this is a great line for Jewel Lloyd. She should hit this. Even with this game being a blowout, she should be able to get at least 2 3-pointers made. Now, another thing you can look at for Jewel Lloyd is actually her fantasy. The Sky are the number 1 team giving up turnovers. So you can look at Jewel Lloyd, because her line is usually pretty low. Jewel Lloyd, and she scores, she assists, she rebounds a ton, but she gets a good amount of steals. So Jewel Lloyd over 1.5 3-pointers, or look for a fantasy. And again, same concept, add her PRA and add 3 to that. And if the line is there at 3 or below 3 points above the PRA, then fantasy is a good look for Jewel Lloyd. That's it. I don't have any real interest in anyone else. Going back to this game, forgot to mention one player. Jonquel Jones, over 1.5 3-pointers made. Okay? So Jonquel Jones over 1.5 3-pointers made. That's it. Just wanted to mention that really fast. This, and they rank 9th, and she shoots 43% of her shots here, above the break. If Stewart is not, doesn't play, I'll be looking at her scoring, because she will score from above the break, and she has an incredible matchup underneath the basket. They rank dead last. And this will be like for PR for Jonquel Jones. She'll get tons of rebounds and she'll score a bunch. But if Stewart's playing, it will be the 1.5 3-pointers made for her. That's it. That's it, my friends. Best of luck to you. Don't forget to drop your best play. Let's get another community slip going. We didn't get one going today. Let's target tomorrow once all these injury news are ironed out. All right? Best of luck to you. God bless you and your family. Que Dios te bendiga y hasta la próxima. Chao.